We want to prove to you that we don't just talk about real estate. We are real estate investors. So today we're bringing you virtually one of our properties from Luis Medina. Luis Medina has been investing for about 6 years. And I call him Huicho, so you're going to hear me call him Huicho the whole time. When Huicho got started, he was already a successful investor before he found us, before he found our system. And yet he still decided to come on board and to get started. So let's bring Huicho on. He's at his property right now. This is where we're going to leverage technology to the best of our ability, guys. We're leveraging technology, and we're hoping his internet connection is good to go. Huicho, are you there, my friend? Let's see. I don't see you coming out here. There he's coming. I see him. Well, here's Huicho in his hazmat suit. Hey guys, this is gonna be pretty freaking awesome. So here we've got Huicho at his property, and we're gonna talk. He's gonna walk us through the property. He's gonna go through and show us what's possible. Okay. As we're going through this, guys, I want you to think about: is this something you could do? Could you find the property? Did you find the homeowner that's having trouble? We're going to discuss 4 things today with Huicho's property. We're going to talk about these 4 F's of real estate. How do you find the deal? How do you fund it? How do you fix it? And how do you flip it? Find, fund, fix, and flip is what we're going to discuss with Huicho. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Huicho for the time being. He's going to walk us through this property. We may interrupt him for a couple of questions. But let's go check this out. Huicho, why on earth are you in a hazmat suit?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, man.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing. The one reason I'm in this suit is because I remember one of the times I came, I was standing next to the homeowner, and a cockroach jumped from her shoulder to mine. And my natural reaction was just to swap it away, and it went back into her shoulder. So that was kind of cool, you know, like it was something I had never experienced. But I mean, this house is full of critters. Like I was telling you a couple of days ago, I mean, we pulled out a dead dog, a dead cat. It smells. I mean, you could imagine it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Every sink, every toilet is clogged to its capacity. The tubs are black, covered in mold everywhere. I mean, beyond what I've ever experienced. I've been in some filthy houses, but never something this impactful. As soon as you walk in, you know, you get a headache. You get a headache. You feel the filth in your pores when you walk in this property. I mean, last time I came in here, I think there were 7 cats inside. You can hear, you know, crippling there and, you know, scratching there, little weird noises. So I figure those are either rats the size of raccoons or the size of cats. I mean, I'll let you decide, but I'm going to say they're huge. And this person was living in this house under this condition. You know, we helped her solve the problem that she was facing. She just didn't know what to do. That's pretty much it. She said she was tired. She didn't know how to go about fixing it. We came in, helped her, got her into a better place, and now we're left with this, I don't know what to call it. But let's go inside. I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to put my mask on. I'm going to yell a little louder just to get through the, project through the mask. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with the audio. You guys let me know. And I'll just have to take deeper breaths if I have to. One thing I will tell you, I'm not going to show you the front of the house. And that is because the house is now vacant. It is condemned from the city of Ontario. I got a list for 64 violations, anywhere from vehicles in the driveway to unpermitted structures attached to the property. I'll show you what those look like and why the city wants them gone. So there's 64 violations that we have to fix for them to be able to take the tag off this house. You know, anywhere from electrical, gas, windows, structure, just the stench. I mean, it's bad. I think this house, with safely, it has to be open for a good 2 weeks to get enough ventilation through to help get rid of some of the stench while we're cleaning it. But let me flip the camera, and then you guys can check it out. We good?
Yeah, man, we're good. We can see you. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. So I'll go that far just to show you what, you know, some of the overgreen stuff. This is pretty normal nowadays, especially going with green, right? Or water saving policies. Don't mow your lawn, I guess. Anyways, this is the very first window. You can already see all the cobwebs on the other side. Okay. So we're gonna walk in. There's a stove right in the front.
That's a good place for it.
Right. Cobwebs everywhere. I mean, obviously deferred maintenance every single square inch of this house.
So guys, as Weicho walks through this property, here's what I want you to do. I told you, I want you to put yourself in his shoes. This is the situation he's walking into. He's found a homeowner. This is the situation in which they're living. Now, can you do it? Is it worth it? This is a property you may be walking into. This is a potential profit for you. Can you stomach it? Now, I can't imagine what it smells like in there, but knowing you found multiple dead animals in there, it can't be good. So I want you to think about, can you do this process? And also, can you also make a mental checklist of what kind of work needs to be done? Okay, all right, Weicho, go ahead.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, you can't really zoom into the camera with this, but the whole ceiling line is full of cobwebs. That's the smallest of my concerns. There's multiple leaks everywhere, but it just shows you how long it's been sitting. This is a living room, or what's left of it. There's just stuff everywhere. I mean, as soon as you open the door, that stench hits your face. I'm not kidding you. I almost dare any one of you to come out here with no mask and then go home with a headache. But this is what she was living in. You know, the carpet is actually sticky. Okay. I'm going to say that's urine, you know, dog and cat feces. I mean, it's just overwhelming.
Weicho, we got people saying, I'm sure glad this is a virtual tour.
Right. This is the kitchen. This is what the sink looks like.
Wow. Oh my gosh. How long has that water been sitting there?
I don't know. I'm afraid that if I move it, something's going to come out.
Oh my gosh.
Like a crocodile or something. So this is the kitchen. She was only using her microwave to eat. There's no gas in the house. It's been like that for some time now. I mean, you see these every single door frame. I mean, it's everywhere. So I'm standing, this bag in front of me is waist high. And that's, I'm going to lower my phone. This is waist high, and you can see the rest of the stuff. I mean,
wow.
it just,
So what are your thoughts as you're going through this process, as you're walking through this, Weicho, and you're looking at this, because we're going to get to the numbers in just a couple of minutes. But what was going through your mind as an investor as you're taking a look at this?
Uh, get out of here.
Get out as quickly as possible.
Right, right. So, there's various things that we have to visit right now because of the coronavirus. Building officials, all the city building departments are shut down. We can't get information as far as deadlines and, they need some engineers involved in this application for permits. This is the garage. I mean, I really just want to get some clarity from the city what to do to just jump on it, get it out of here, clean it up, and start doing what we do.
I mean, you've got multiple 40-yard dumpsters worth of trash just in junking out that place.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a three-car garage, and I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. I don't think anything could be salvaged because it's so contaminated.
Yeah.
Plus, we're not in the business of selling personal belongings, right? We're gonna go up.
Know if there's a car there underneath all the trash.
Yeah, there is a car somewhere there.
Wow.
So this is I'm going up the second floor.
So Weicho, as we're going through this, let's change the conversation a little bit. We'll just you can be our eyes and just continue to show us the property. But let's start having a conversation about, okay, why was there an opportunity here? Who is living in the property? What's the situation? And let's start having a conversation of how you help, because somebody was living here in this condition. They were living here. They had a problem, and you were able to step in and help solve that problem. Let's talk about, how did you find this deal? Hey, there you are. What's up?
So this deal was found by Javier Morales, one of my partners. And he got led to this property. He's a member of our community. He got led to this property by using, one of our simple tools. He got an alert for a foreclosure, and he just came and did what he knows how to do best, which is come and try to figure out how he could be of assistance. He engaged with the lady in a conversation, and then got to a point where he got stuck, and he reached out. He said, "You know what, dude? I need some help." And then that's where I came in, started helping, leveraging each other through the process. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to get out of the situation. We established rapport with the lady, got out.
Oh my gosh.
This was full of water. So that water is now in the kitchen. The kitchen's underneath.
And again, this property is in Ontario, California, that's a nice area.
Right. Yeah, it's a nice area. But yeah, she didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to do. What was the next step? She was afraid. She was hiding. She was hiding, running away from the circumstances. Her family members they didn't want nothing to do with her whatsoever. I don't know why. Up to this day, I don't understand. But she was pretty much left alone. Her health was just falling quickly, and the last thing she wanted to do was deal with all this. So us as an educated team and community, we come assess her with her needs. Now she's in a better place right now. She's not currently living here. And then just, she's 90 years old. She's really just living the last days of her life in dignity with clean eating, having her medicine, bathing, going to the restroom properly. And then I just told her, leave the rest to me. Don't worry about the rest. Don't worry about the homes. Right now, let's let's get you to a better spot. So we went through that, and then I'm gonna take my mask off now. You can see the extent of the damage out here, and she was never gonna, she was never gonna deal with this in no way or form.
Oh, no way. 90 years old. She doesn't have the capacity. She doesn't have the physical capacity, the financial capacity, and probably even the mental capacity to handle this. So here's what I'm going to do, guys, as Huicho continues to walk around the property. Huicho, you just keep doing what you're doing. I'm just going to pull my video back up so that I'm going to put a couple of things on the screen that our attendees at home can see. All right. So this deal was found, and this deal was found through door knocking. Javier received a lead. He went over and found a deal. Now, the interesting thing is this house was going into foreclosure. Okay, so you were able to help stop a foreclosure, but this is one of the components that absolutely blows my mind on this property are the numbers. So let's talk about the numbers as you continue to walk around, because this is fascinating. Don't stop what you're doing. Continue to show, and let's just have a conversation. So the mortgage balance, how much is left on the balance of the mortgage of this home, Luis?
$9 grand.
Did you guys hear that? $9,000. $9,000 is all that's left on this house, and it's going into foreclosure. So Javier receives a message, and he goes out there and he says, hey, I'm going to find it. He goes out and finds it through our systems, through our third-party systems, and then, okay, he goes out, and you had to go out and you had to bring everything current. You had to reinstate you had to bring it current because it had been, missed payments for months and months and months. How much did it cost you to reinstate this?
Close to 30 grand.
Okay, so $30,000. $30,000 to reinstate it. So you're in that thing at $39,000 so far. Okay, so folks, this is when we find it and fund it. When we're talking find and fund, you're into this for just under 40 grand for the entire acquisition. You buy the house, you get her to transfer over the title, the ownership. So right now, you own this house.
Right.
You own the house, and you've worked out an arrangement with her, which we'll talk about in just a couple of minutes. So you're into this thing for just under 40 grand acquisition. Holy cow, how many of you online could put that on a credit card? You could buy the house on a freaking credit card if you needed to. We're talking $40,000, okay? Now, that's just to get it to this point. Let's talk now about how much is it gonna be in renovations. We're seeing what's going on here. This is really about fixing and flipping a property. This is nothing more than, guys, I look at this and yeah, it's filthy, it's disgusting. I've done over 400 properties. Luis, you've done over 4 dozen properties, almost 50 properties. Is there anything here that scares you, or is this just a fix and flip? You got to clean it all out, and you got to go in and replace what's broken and fix it. How do you view this property?
Right. Yeah. This is aside from the filth and the smell, it's a fix and flip.
Yeah. And so you've estimated a budget. You've gone through this, and you're a contractor, and you've estimated what's your rehab budget going to be on this?
Not knowing what the city's looking for, $150,000. So
$150,000 is going to be the rehab budget, because there's going to be a whole bunch of things that may need to be cured up with the city. Normally 150 grand, guys, it is nowhere near $150,000 to fix up a 2,200 square foot house, right? Nowhere near it. But you've got, this has been condemned by the city. So you got to go take care of all of those fines. You got to go take all of that with the city, and you're looking at $150,000 in rehab. Now let's talk about how are you going to fund it? Are you going to borrow the money? Are you going to self-fund it? How do you fund a transaction like this?
We're going to borrow the money.
You're going to borrow the money. So let's say, your rehab and your acquisition, let's say you're all in at $200,000. Over the course of, how long do you think it's going to take you to flip this?
Let's say 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. So let's do simple math for Kendall. Let's say that you're borrowing $200,000 at 10%. Over the course of a year, if you hold on to that thing for an entire year, that's $20,000 in money costs, okay? So guys, let's do the math here. He's into it for a total of $210,000. 210, that helps you to acquire the house. It helps you to fix it up. It helps you to do everything with the city. Now, it's a mess. We can see that, okay? But Huicho, let's let the cat out of the bag. And I'm not talking about the dead cat that you found on the property. I'm just talking about the cat. Let's let the cat out of the bag. In Ontario, California, this property, once it's fixed up, and this is what we're talking about, guys, we always start with the end in mind. We start with the ARV. Okay, we start with the after repair value. You take out all of your purchase, or excuse me, you take out your rehab costs, all of your acquisition costs, your money costs, everything, and then you're going to get down to your purchase price. Well, we already know the purchase price here. Okay, we already know that he's in at $210,000. Huicho, what's this house worth?
It's around 580, 600,000.
So the after repair value is anywhere from $580 to $600,000, depending on the comps. Folks, do the math. Do the math. That puts you in the ballpark of a profit over $400,000. Now, are these results typical? No. You guys, none of you, when I said, is it worth it? None of you even put out there that you were looking to make $400,000. And Huicho, you're not, like, this is a 90-year-old lady that you're not in here trying to take advantage of her. She's got a situation here. You negotiated a fantastic win-win situation for her. How did you negotiate the profit split on this deal?
We're at a 60-40.
60% 40 split, which, guys, let's do the math here. 60% goes to the seller. This goes to the property owner. And it's a little bit unfortunate because here's the part that you told me is you said that her family is just ignoring her. She's not even, they're not even stepping in to help anything. She's 90 years old. The reality is that $240,000 is most likely going to her heirs, right? At some point down the road.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because they're not even doing anything to help the current situation. But you as an investor, you're able to help step in, solve the problem, and you're still going to walk away with ballpark of $160,000 profit. Now it's going to take anywhere from 8 months, 6 to 8 months. But folks, as we start having the conversation, can I do it? Is it worth it? How many of you would be open to even a fraction of $160,000 profit? I mean, open to even a fraction of that. Folks, this is what we do. So Huicho, now, I mean, your next step is literally start working with the city, start junking out the property. Walk us through the process. What's next? After you get things remedied with the city, what is your course of action? What's your process on this?
Look how bad this is. Look at, I can just tear pieces of wood.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I think some termites have been well fed.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the process now is first step, flip the camera. Okay, so it is getting connected with the city, code enforcement, building department. They are requesting an engineer to take over and come assess all the unpermitted construction and go through that process. But once we have a green light from the city, clean it up, obviously discard a lot of the stuff that is not salvageable, because the heirs all of a sudden show up because they love grandma and they love mom with for the chunk of the pie. They're gonna want some of the stuff around the property, so put that aside, start the flip, and then put it on the market. It is unfortunate that there's such a great opportunity here for, I'm going to say this, a lot of scavengers to show up out of nowhere and just wait for her to pass while they enjoy the benefits of what she's created in her term.
Yeah. Let me ask you some of the questions that I'm getting here. Somebody said, well, what about the recession? I want to address that for a second. What about the recession? Well, folks, that has not been reflected in the real estate market yet. Is it coming? I don't know. But let me ask you, even if it takes a 25% hit, a 50% hit, and he's still making $200,000, would you be okay with that?
Totally, every day.
freaking amazing.
Yeah, the trick is when you you make your money when you buy. We buy low, we sell high. So when you buy right, one recession could come on top of the other, and you could still be able to have time to move around and even identify your exit strategies. You know, um, yes, the work is considered essential. This is why. Right now, the rules, I'm just answering one of the questions that popped up. Is it an essential? Three components. It is a hazard to the city. There's electrical shortages, and there's overflown leakages everywhere. So for now, it is an essential. It's red tag. They don't want anyone around. I shouldn't even be here right now. But it is an essential. Um, Back to your point, Kendall, when you buy low, I mean, you could literally sit on it and not do anything if you wanted to,
Right.
and not worry about the recession.
Right. Okay. When you're buying a house for $40,000 in Ontario that has a potential ARV of 580 to 600,000, my goodness, that's freaking amazing. So Weicho, thank you so much. Thank you for providing this virtual property tour. That is awesome. Now, this is, Weicho, why don't you, as you're exiting the property, just share us your story. Give us your story as you're walking out. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to get started with Renatus.
Well, I've had success as a real estate investor in other platforms, in other companies, buying education. If you ever want to know who's bought every single educational package out there, that is me. I bought everything thinking I needed further information. Well, you know what I discovered once I came and was exposed to the Renatus platform was that every single one that I've touched before, it almost feels like they've been through Renatus and then taken tidbits and bits to create their own platforms, but I always worry about my hair. It looks good still.
Looking good, man. Looking
yeah,
good.
okay. But yeah, I was really stuck where I was at. The education I had before, the platform I was working with before, hit a plateau. It was a good beginner, rookie, student level type of education, and I couldn't grow off of that. And my entrepreneurial mindset and my curiosity in developing my business furthermore, I couldn't go anywhere with what I had. So when I came to Renatus, I seen the massive amount of education that I was exposed to, and I said, "This is just this is a no-brainer, man. If I'm already having success with the basics, now I get to excel with advanced education and learn even more tricks, more strategies that I had ever never even dreamt of. I thought I knew it all. Guess what? I mean, there's always room to keep on growing and educating yourself furthermore. That's where I'm at. I'm enjoying the successes. I'm growing alongside my team, my community, and I'm excited for everything that's to come, man.
That is awesome. Weicho, thanks so much, man. Thanks for taking the risk. Thanks for going out to that property. Thank you for helping this homeowner out of a bad situation. Sometimes real estate investors get a bad rap because there's a lot of people that go out and take advantage of people like this woman and would give her nothing. They just take the 40 grand, take the problem off her shoulders, and that's it. No, we're all about solving problems and making it a win-win situation. So Weicho, thanks for acting with integrity. Thanks so much for letting us come in and view your property. And we'll be talking with you more on Wednesday, guys.
All right, I'm gonna disconnect. Enjoy, guys.
All right, we'll see you soon. So, guys, I mean, that is the business of real estate investing. Sometimes it's dirty, sometimes it stinks. And here's the thing: somebody said, "Man, that's a lot of work for $50,000." Yeah, well, that's if the market took a dramatic cut, folks. That's not happening right now. Okay. But even if it did, would you be okay? Yes. And here's the beauty of it. When you start learning this system, it's a function of learning how to go in there and actually get other people to go in and do the work for you. So let me see, we got a couple of questions here. How do you remove the stench from the concrete, the walls, the flooring, the patios? Is it a tear down? No, it's not. There's a lot of ways. We've got a lot of investors on our team that have experienced this. There are companies that you can hire that go in, and this is their business. They go in and they can sanitize everything. They can go in, sanitize the walls. They don't have to remove all of the concrete, or excuse me, all of the drywall. There's systems in place of companies that you can hire to go in there and get a new clean bill of health. Okay. So super awesome. I'm super stoked, guys. This is an amazing, amazing system. So today we start the conversation. We start the conversation today, but then we're going to invite you to come down and learn more about who we are and what we do on Wednesday night. Now, I want to have an opportunity for you guys to hear from some of our other students of what's going on. How has this Renata system helped them in their business? What have they been able to accomplish? Because like Huicho, we've had students that have come out here and purchased other programs and still decided after, one of the guys in particular, a gentleman by the name of Matt, he spent tens of thousands of dollars with another company. I'm going to invite him to come out and share his story. What was his experience? Because when he got started, he was just like everybody else. He was struggling. He was looking for support. He was looking for a community. He didn't want to do this business by himself. He wanted to be in business for himself, but not by himself. Matt, go ahead and share your story, would you please?
Thanks, Kendall. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is an amazing community and it's an amazing system. You know, I had invested some money in other programs, other guru programs, and there was just some gaps in the information that I got. They basically taught me how to become a wholesaler, and they taught me to go to RIA clubs, and then they taught me to, you know, call bandit signs. That's basically the amount of information that I got from them. And you know, I was glad because I actually started taking some action and doing some work. I was able to buy a property, and I was actually able to sell that property last year, and I just made a little over $100,000 on it. And that was my first deal. I was really excited for that. It was a duplex that I bought. I rented it for 5 years. It nearly doubled in value. And then what I did was a couple months ago, I took the money from that and put it down on a small apartment building in the Midwest. And so going forward, I love, you know, fix and flips are fun. I had a chance to do a fix and flip about a year and a half ago in Paris. $1,000 on that. It was awesome. None of my own money, none of my own credit in the deal. But I really learned from this education that my investor ID is to be more of a landlord, to have rentals, to have passive income coming in. And that's what lights me up. And that's what I enjoy. I'm grateful to have an extra $1,000 a month coming during this.
I've seen a few on there, but the text was.
Hey, Mark, mute yourself, buddy.
My text was.
Mark, you're off mute, buddy.
Mark, you're off mute. Anyway, great. So, yeah, so I've been able to develop some passive income, and you know, I've been able to work with other them get a good return on their investment too. And the cool thing about it is, like, I'm talking with my little sister about buying a property with her, buying some rental property with her. I'm making offers on more rental properties, and I am gonna have a portfolio of rentals. So that's what I am creating with my business. And that's what lights me up. That's what I'm passionate about. And it's all because of the information that I've learned with Renatus. You know, I invested fully in education. I put down the 20 grand. I watched my classes. I've gone through several of them 2-3 times. I'm a knowledge junkie. I really want to know what's going on because I really feel like that's the best way for me to mitigate risk for myself, for my investors, and to create a successful business. And, you know, I'm absolutely passionate about sharing this with people too. I know that I've seen other people create these kind of results. 2 people that I shared this business with, one of them has 9 doors paying him rent every single month. And then the other one, he's got 26 doors. And once he gets, he's got an offer in on a 13-unit building, you have 39 doors. Already he makes $8,000 a month of passive income. Pretty soon that's going to go up to 10,000 or more. And so I'm just really, really stoked for what this opportunity has been able to create for me, but also what it's been able to create for others that I've shared it with. So
that's what it's about. And it really works, doesn't it, Matt?
It does, absolutely.
You know, and actually I'm going to rephrase that, guys, because let me show you. It's not, when people always ask, I hate this question. Does it work? Okay, people ask me this all the time. Does it work? That's the wrong question. It enables you to put the responsibility someplace else. No, not does it work. The real question is, does I work? Do you work? Are you willing to do the work? Because if you work, guess what? This system will work. If you don't, it's not going to work for you. So Matt, thank you so much. Thanks for coming out and sharing your story. I want to hear from another guy that got started with this. This is a young guy that he was in the construction field. He had some experience. He was working a warehouse job. And, you know, he's like, man, that's just not working out for me. Unfortunately, he got laid off. He got laid off, started working back in personal fitness. He was a personal trainer. And he knew that he had to make things happen. He needed to make a change in his world, really got passionate about wholesaling properties. And I know many of you are interested or have a potential interest in wholesaling properties. And I want Giovanni to come out and share his experience, what his experience was with us when he got started, and share some of his results. Giovanni, it's all you, man.
All right, thank you guys. So yeah, so like Kendall was talking about, my name is Giovanni. I'm here from Riverside. And I have a construction background, right? So I was working in construction about 2.5 years ago. And I was earning a pretty good amount of money. I was earning $35 an hour. I felt like it was good at the time. And then I got laid off, right? And then I went back into a warehouse job. So I literally went from earning $35 an hour to $12.50. So it was a humongous cut for me. It really humbled me, but it wasn't something that I wasn't passionate about because, I mean, my intention was never to go into a warehouse job. It was just a situation that presented itself. And then after being in that warehouse job, I soon realized that, you know, I was frustrated. I was really depressed and just felt worthless. So somebody invited me down to a property, just kind of like what you guys seen today virtually, but it was in person. And I realized that most of the people that were in that property were achieving the results that I wanted to achieve, right? I wanted the time freedom. I wanted the financial freedom. And I knew that these people knew something that I didn't. So when I got started, it took me a while to get off the ground and start rolling because of my job. I didn't have that time flexibility. But about 6.5, or I would say 7 months ago, blessing in disguise hit me. I got into a car accident, head-on collision. And from that moment on, literally in that, I would say that 10 seconds of that happening, my life just passed me by, and I was like, you know what? I cannot keep doing what I'm doing because I'm not satisfied. You know, I don't feel like I'm living life on purpose. So then that's when I decided to go full time and say, I'm not going to go back. I committed to plug into my classes, plug into the community, and maximize my time. And ever since then, I've been able to close 6 wholesale transactions. Been able to make more money than I've ever made in both of my jobs combined. Like this month, I broke just under $20,000. And I mean, it may seem like a lot or may seem like a little bit for some people. For me, coming from a background of, you know, never earning more than $5,000 a month has been like, you know, a game changer for me. So now my mindset is to get back and show other people what I've learned so they can create those results in their life as well. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity, really grateful for everybody in the community. And for anybody out there that, you know, has some idea to get to know who we are more in person, I would definitely recommend you continue to plug in and see exactly who we are, because this can literally change your life.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Giovanni. I appreciate that because, you know, it's amazing when you have the right tools, the right system, the right support. And you've been wholesaling, making that your focus for how long?
For actively about 6 months.
And you've generated how much?
Over 6 figures.
Over 6 figures in 6 months. And you're also part of our sales force. You're recommending people to this too. How's that working out?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, the financial freedom that I've been able to generate in this last 6-7 months have been just outstanding. It's just mind blowing, but it's possible. I mean, if it's possible for me, it's possible for every single person on this line here today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Giovanni. Hey, well, thank you so much for sharing your story. While Giovanni was there, I was looking at some of the questions we had there, and people are asking, hey, how do you know that once you do the remediation that this is all going to be taken care of? Folks, that's what you're going to learn in the system. The system it's all about education. What gives us that fear and what gives us the uncertainty right now is we just don't know what we don't know. When you come in and tap into the resources of our community, there's remediation companies for everything. There's remediation companies, and since this has been tagged by the city, chances are Luis is going to have to do extra level of effort to make sure that he gets all the permits and everything cleared from the city. But there's remediation for termites, there's remediation for rodents, there's remediation even for air quality. We've used them all. And one of the houses, literally, I bought a house one time that the lady, it was going into foreclosure, and she felt bad. She had 19 cats, 19 cats, and she wouldn't take them to the animal shelter because she thought it was a kill shelter and they were all going to be killed, put to death. And so she moved out of her house and left 19 cats inside the property with just food and water available. Can you imagine the smell when we walked into that property? Oh my gosh, it'll make your head spin. But really, it was just like any other property. There was something we had to deal with there. And we did. We hired a remediation company in, and they had a solution that they sprayed on the walls and on the concrete. Then we had to seal the walls, and we actually had to seal the concrete in that regard. But there is a solution for every problem. Well, before we wrap up for today, I want to hear one more student. I want to hear Kim Evans' story, because today we start the conversation. Wednesday night, we're going to continue the conversation. And part of what we're going to show you on Wednesday is how you can dramatically reduce some of the interest that you've been paying on your mortgages, your student loans, and so forth. And I want you to hear Kim's experience and what she's been able to do in her world and what kind of a shift she's had by coming in and following a system. Kim?
Hi, guys. This is super cool. This is a great way to connect, right? Even when we're just being online. And I love seeing so many ladies online, right? This business sometimes can be, there's a lot of men who look at that, but I love that there's so many women. And when I found this team about 7 years ago, I wanted something that I could integrate what I was doing full time, which at the time was being a stay-at-home mom. I have 5 kids and I was super dedicated to that. And that's what I wanted to continue doing. But I wanted something that would integrate with that and I could do full time, or, you know, with what I was already doing full time. So since then, I've been able to do a lot of cool things, really contribute financially to our world. And it's allowed my husband to stop working 40 to 60 hours a week. And he works about 35, 40 hours a week. And a lot of that financial pressure is off of his shoulders, right? We, at one point we had 21 rental properties. We've sold some of those, repositioned some of that. We still have rental income. We have done about 45 deals, and we've done fix and flips. We've done money lending. We've done buy and hold properties and different things. And so check it out. If there's anything here that you see, that's what I would ask yourself. If there's anything here that piques your curiosity, that you're like, man, I wish I knew how to do that, you know, come back. Kendall's going to invite you just to get back with the person who invited you. Come back Wednesday night at 7, get more information, see what it would look like to work together. And you deserve it. You deserve to come and check everything out. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. And guys, that is today. I hope we've addressed and answered the 2 questions. The 2 questions that I was most wanting to deliver on is, can you do it and is it worth it? We have educational services that can enable you to go out and absolutely crush it in this business if you're willing to take action. If you go out there and make things happen, go out, do the steps, follow the system, you can go out there and make these kind of incomes. Now, this property we showed today, is this typical? No, not on your life. This is not typical in any sense. Not typical in the sense of finding a hoarder property like that. Not typical in having to move somebody into a new location. Typically in my business, I buy a house and it's lipstick on a pig. It needs paint, carpet, a little bit of landscaping, some granite appliance or some granite countertops, new appliances, and I move in, I move out. On average, I don't make anywhere near $200,000, $160,000 per flip. On average, I'm making $25,000 to $35,000 per property. So ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up for today, let me come back here real quick. As we wrap up, I hope we've been able to answer the question, CD Iwi, can I do it and is it worth it? I'm not here to make your decision. I'm simply here to collect your decision. If you're like, you know what, this is awesome. I love what I see. I'd like to get more information. Then I invite you to come join us. Come join us Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Pacific. Get back with the person who invited you. You see, this meeting today was by invitation only. The only way you got the link is you reached out to somebody, they shared with you the information. Get back to the person who invited you to attend this webinar. I look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday night. Thank you so much to Wicho for sharing the property with us. Guys, go out there, create a great day, enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you all soon. See you later, guys.